Hello everyone, it's Bob Butera with Lesson 10 in our meditation program at Yoga Life. This topic, silence, yes, silence, is extremely subtle and compelling. It's what we desire, but what we resist. Religious poetry, spiritual poetry, mystical poetry describes what I'd like to touch on today, which is the space between our thoughts. Silence can be defined as space between our thoughts, or it could be defined as one consistent thought. So if you were meditating on love, love would be the consistent thought, but you wouldn't be thinking about love. So it would be the same thing as having no thoughts, because the thought that was there is really a carrot just to occupy your mind so that you can experience a distancing from the activity of thoughts. This point is really tough to explain, so I can't really say much about it. What do you say about nothing? You see, the space between two thoughts. I do want to say that it's not talked about in our larger culture. We're normally discussing issues and politics and relationships and so forth, but we don't talk about peace because there really isn't anything you can say about it other than the experience of it, other than following the longing that we all have for it. So I'm not saying to remove yourself from your life and have no thoughts and be, completely aloof, if you will, but within your life, to have periods of silence gives tremendous perspective. So what I want to give you today is the sense of safety, that when you do allow your thoughts to stop, that you'll still be alive, and in fact your life will become very rich. In the psychology of yoga, as in many psychologies, there's a distinction between the ego, the part of us that says, hey, this is me, this is my body, here I am, I could use a better shave, maybe I'm noticing. That person who's the ego, and the next person who's the higher self that feels as if all of nature is one. There's a larger purpose for everything. And I've got this very broad view of things. So I've got the higher self on the one side and then this ego on the other that are really the same person, so to speak, but maybe different facets. So as we learn to meditate, we're trying to touch into this thoughtless place. But that could be very scary if what we are all knowing and having reinforced by the culture that we are our thoughts. Like the things that we think make us, our identity, is based on thoughts. It's not based on something that we can't describe, because then we wouldn't be able to interact with one another. So we become very fixated on this ego construction, and then we go around our lives stuck in that. What I'd like to propose is that we continue to give that a rest. So we're working as a second week on this womb pose, the one where the fingers are over the eyes, and hopefully that exercise is comfortable to you. It's not always easy, so we're using it a second week to give you more of a chance to get into it. But I want you to realize that when you have no thoughts, you're still completely alive, and you have the potential to truly experience deep-seated peace. If you can touch that for 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, where you just really feel like, my life can go on with its ups and downs. They're not going to change. The fact that your car's in the shop or somebody's sick or your leg hurts or whatever the issues you may have going on, those aren't ever going to change, but your perspective to them can. So in this silence, you can feel safe, peaceful, completely inspired, although the mind may resist going there. So that's what they say, cultivating a practice in meditation. That's why meditation takes years, because our mind has been trained to think and identify and prove itself. It hasn't been taught and trained to let go and just be. So I'll let us go. Wish you a fantastic class, and if I were going to sign off with something related to silence, I would use patience. Allow yourself to touch silence, not go head into it. Touch it for 30 seconds, pull out. See what it felt like. Touch it for a minute. Good luck.